Advisor. Hi, welcome to readmeproject.com. Now we are going to see the process of secure encounter-based mobile social networks requirement designs and trade-offs. Here we are moved to the abstract of our process. Encounter-based social networks and encounter-based system links users at the same time at the same location. In that process, we have to provide a functional and security requirements for new systems such as availability, security, and providing for building secure encounter-based social networks. The encounter-based networks consist of two methods: immediate key exchange and delayed key exchange. In the immediate key exchange process and also the delayed key exchange process, the difference only between the response time evaluation process. Here the sender sends a key to the central authority for verification or certification request. After verifying the process, the central authority generates a own private key and also sends back to the sender and also the receiver. In receiver side, the receiver matches the key from central authority, and from the sender, the two keys matches. Then the receiver start the communication to the sender side. If any one of the hackers start to decrypt that message, means they didn't retrieve the original message because the central authority gives the key to the only the receiver side. So here we provide a much more security compared to the previous approaches. Now we are going to see the DFT of our process. First, the sender select the input file for generating a certificate process. So before creating the certificate, we have to generate the key generation process. The key generation process consists of image hash code generation and signature key generation using DSC algorithm. After that, creating the successful key generation process, the certification records into the central authority. The central authority verify the certificate in the format of X.509 certificate. So the certificate is matched, means it's sent back to the sender with the own private key of that input file. So after getting the certificate from the central authority, the sender moves to the key exchange process. So the sender broadcasts the certificate to the networks. So the receiver want to receive the file from the sender, means the receiver first checks the certification key from the central authority and the key from that sender. If the two keys are matched, means the receiver gives a commit transaction. Otherwise, the receiver abort the transaction. In between the transaction process, if any hackers are going to hack the key from the sender, means so we have to enable the TON network process. In the TON networks, the anonymous users are going to hack the process. So that in the the key exchange consists of two processes: immediate key exchange and delayed key exchange. In immediate key exchange process, if any one of the users, it means hackers or receiver, means the two users give the response time from the particular time interval, means they are considered as a real users. So that the format encrypted file will be sent to that user. But in the case it is an anonymous user, means he doesn't retrieve the original information because the key verification process, the key does not match from that central authority process. Here the central authority only gives the key to the only receiver, so that anonymous user doesn't retrieve the key, so that the key verification is provide a mismatch result, so it doesn't retrieve the original information. In the process is also same as the delayed key exchange process. So only however the process is going to be taken, the anonymous user does not retrieve the original information. Only the receivers retrieve the original information. Thereby we have to provide high security. Now we are going to see the demo of our secure encounter-based mobile social networks. These are the users available into the networks. So by clicking connected users, the available users in the networks are displayed. So here the communication head one means the communication takes place between the two users, allies and boss. So the communication successfully starts between allies and boss. Then moves to the certification process. Here in certification process, the file going to be selected for certification request. So the file is viewed successfully. Then moves to the image selection process. Here the hash code generation for the user own image. So that user image is selected here. So here that image is selected. The user image is selected. By clicking auto, the image is converted into that certificate format. So the hash code is generated for that image. So the input parameters is transmission file and image hash code. So we have to calculate the key generation for that process. So that signature file is generated using DSC algorithm, and also key file also generated. Then moves to the next process. Here the conversation data analyze and bomb. The transaction data is attacked deeply. The data is viewed. The image is also displayed. The image is displayed in the cartoon format. Then moves to the certification process. The certification is created. So the input file is DSP, the signature file, the signature algorithm, key file, and key algorithms are also displayed. The hash code is displayed. So the public key, secret key, and hash code are also sent to the central authority. So the public key also received, and also secret key also sent to that. Here also the secret key also received. Here also has sent to that design. Here also the hash received. So by clicking receive data means the data is received. So the central authority moves to the verification process. If the verification is true means it's moved to the whole private key generation process. So that signature, the verification is also true. So the key generation process is happened. So the data file is to be created. So and also the secret file is to be created. So that secret file and signature will be back sent to the sender. So by clicking private key also sent to the conversation head 1 process. So here the user received the key from central authority, and also the signature file also sent. Here also the sender received the signature file from the central authority. So these files are also sent to the receiver side. Here also the key file received from the central authority. That is the signature file also sent to the receiver side. The key also received from the central authority. Here in the user 1 process, the user 1 encrypt the key process. So the data file is encrypted in the format of using blowfish algorithm. Then moves to the broadcast process. Here the user consists of 2 methods. Here the user send that acknowledgement to that process. Here the user 2 the receive the public key means the public key received from conversation head 1. So here moves to that signature verification process. So the signature verification is also done in that process. So after giving that response, the users give the acknowledgement means the user 1 waiting for that acknowledgement process. Here the user send the requirement means the verification done, acknowledgement is sent to the user. In this data files are successful, the response time is evaluated. So in between the response time, the C has to respond successfully. So the user 1 broadcast data to that user 2. The user 2 receive that encrypted data. So by clicking receive, the encrypted data is received. The data is sent and also that received. So by clicking encrypted key, the keys are encrypted. By clicking decrypt, the data is decrypted successfully. So data decrypted between the sender and the receiver. It's the encryption details. The blowfish algorithm, the successful the decryption process successfully done. In between, if any of the hackers is considered in between the process means enable tar network process. Here we have to go enable the tar network. Here this user is called as that anonymous user. If the user send public key means if the key is retrieved from that hacker side means here the key is received. So the key is retrieved. The user going to be decrypt the process means the key is received. So here also the acknowledgement is given to that for proving here is an originality person. Taking acknowledgement person is waiting for acknowledgement. Here that user use and acknowledgement process. The acknowledgement is done in that particular time. Response successfully. So the broadcast data to that receiver side means receive encrypted data means the encrypted data is received. So we are the anonymous user trying to decrypt means here he didn't retrieve the original user because illegal key sets are default parameters. Here only the central authority gives the private key to that receiver side only. So that in between the tar networks, any of the hackers doesn't retrieve the original information. Here it doesn't retrieve the private key. So hereby we achieve the high much security. It's also same as for delayed specific process. In delayed specific process, the user also send public key. to that non-network means here also that by clicking receive public key, the public key also received or going to be sent. And also that received image means the image would be received. So that the public key and images are going to be displayed. So that image means the image is shown. The signature means the signature file is shown to be shown. Here the user going to be the broadcast the process means here also retrieve that encrypted data. So the encrypted data is passed and retrieved. So here using that key by clicking that encryption process means the illegal size. So here also that's considered as a hacker. He doesn't retrieve the original result. So in that process finally we have to achieve much more high security.